What's up, guys? What's going on? What's happening, y'all? Your first members only video. Oh man, voter suppression. Voter suppression. How many of y'all tired of hearing about voter suppression? Hit one if you're tired of hearing about voter suppression. And it's always linked to some kind of infliction of or some kind of something that's being done to black people or minorities. You have the whole thing with the IDs. Well, black people asking for ID at the voter booth is racist towards black people because black people don't have IDs. Black people don't have identification cards. And I promise you, I don't know one nigga who don't have an identification card. I'm not talking about thug nigga, whatever. I don't know one nigga who don't have an identification card. But anyway, apparently, asking for identification card before you vote for the President of the United States is voter suppression. And over the years, I've done plenty of stories on this. Those of you who have just joined the channel, those of you who are just joining the channel who may not be familiar with the content throughout the years, I've done plenty of stories on voter suppression. And 90% of the time, it's a black person doing it. I'm not trying to lie to you. 90% of the time, it's a black person doing it. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. So again, another year, another election year, more claims of voter suppression, and guess who's doing it? You guessed it.
These two men are behind bars, accused of stealing mail from a post office box in Broward County, and inside those mailboxes, ballots. NBC6 reporter Marissa Bagg joins us live from outside the jail where the pair is now in custody. Marissa.
Jawan, Lighthouse Point police say that the suspects appeared nervous and that they were actively trying to shove stuff into bags in the car as the police were approaching. As you mentioned, yes, they're here at the Broward County Jail trying to post bond. Bunches of mail sitting in these drive-through mailboxes, including a couple of election ballots, got into the wrong hands overnight in Lighthouse Point. Police say a white Honda CR-V was lurking too long next to the boxes around 11:40 p.m. Wednesday. An officer stopped the car and reportedly found 20-year-old Vladimir Cuevas and 28-year-old Junior Cabral sitting inside with mail shoved in between the seats and on the floorboards. Two of the envelopes were ballots.
I'm not going to speculate as to...
Now, listen. I'm going to give these brothers the benefit of the doubt that they was just stealing mail. That they was just stealing mail. And the mailbox that they stole from, it just happened to have, ballots in it. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. But if this was two white boys, Connor and Caleb Wolcheski, Connor Wolcheski and Caleb Madison or some shit like that, would they get the benefit of the doubt? If they stole some mail and there was some ballots in it, and they were Republicans, because we know these Afro-Latino guys are Biden supporters. Without a doubt. Criminals, all criminals are Biden supporters. Would two white boys get the benefit of the doubt if they stole a bunch of mail out of mailboxes and some ballots was in their hall? And inside their hall were a bunch of ballots.
I'm not going to speculate as to the intentions behind the allegations, what mail was intended to be recovered or not. But obviously, I do have to take note of the fact that we do have a very big election coming up next week.
Police say the suspects drove up from Opelika to commit the crimes and even had a homemade device used to extract mail from mailboxes on them. Now, the U.S. Postal Inspection Service is part of the investigation. We spoke to Cuevas' attorney, who says the charges police filed are wrong.
What's happening right now is that we have an overzealous police force, law enforcement, that is looking to make a mountain out of a molehill. We'll see that my client should never have been charged with anything regarding the integrity of our elections.
The court confirmed neither suspect has ever been convicted of a crime, so the judge gave them a few $1,000s bond. But she did forbid them to go back to the post office.
Mr. Cuevas, that just means you are not to go to that property location for any reason. Do you understand that?
They will never see me there.
That nigga said, you will never see me over here again. So these some good kids, man. Never been in trouble before. Just did some stupid shit. And I really truly don't think they were trying to do no voter fraud. But they stole some ballots. You stole some ballots. I remember one time I was a young guy. And we were at like a Macy's or something, and this lady, I think she worked there, she had left her purse on the counter. And when I was young, it was steal everything. Steal everything. It was just kleptomania and shit running through my veins, and the guys that I rode with. Steal everything. We saw her purse, we took it and jetted. We didn't even buy nothing. We just took her purse and jetted. She had an engagement ring was in her purse. Took that one. We was like, damn, we tried to hawk that motherfucker at the pawn shop and everything. But that's neither here nor there. But at the end of the day, I stole that lady's fucking engagement ring. Yeah, I was just stealing her purse. But I stole her engagement ring. I'm a jewelry thief. It is what it is. So these guys stole fucking ballots. They stole some ballots. These two Afro-Latina guys stole some ballots. That's what happened. If it was two white kids that stole some ballots in Lighthouse is a 94% white town. The town they stole these ballots in is 94% white. If some white kids went down to a fucking 94% black town and got caught stealing ballots, I'm sure it would be on CNN or MSNBC. I'm sure it would be.
To the post office.
Mr. Cuevas, that just means you are not to go to that property location for any reason. Do you understand that?
They will never see me there.
So the official charges that these two men are facing are fraud, theft, and stealing ballot records. We understand that the supervisor of elections office here in Broward County, as well as the FBI in Miami, have been made aware of this case. Reporting live in Fort Lauderdale, Marissa Bagg, NBC6 News.
Well. What do we have here? Postal worker charged after absentee ballots found in dumpster. I'm mad the dude who wrote this article is named Stephen Hawkins. When you see the picture, right? This is a generic picture that they chose for this article. This is a generic stock photo of a postal worker. And guess what city this is in? Louisville. He's done the countless stories on Louisville. The murder rate has doubled in Louisville this year. Doubled. They have twice as many murders as they had last year at this time. Carjackings are up 400%. Protests in the streets every night. City's going to fucking hell. And now you got postal workers stealing ballots. And Louisville is a Democratic stronghold. A U.S. Postal Service employee has been charged for willfully obstructing the passage of mail after more than 100 absentee ballots and other mail was found in a construction dumpster. 100. So with the other guys, the Afro-Latinos in Florida, where theirs was more accidental or happenstance voter suppression, this guy is doing some big time stuff, man. That's a lot of damn ballots. Especially in these times, Americans depend on the reliability and integrity of those that deliver the U.S. mail, said U.S. Attorney Russell Coleman. Conduct by postal employees that violates that duty will result in swift federal prosecution. 30-year-old Deshaun Beaudry. Anybody ever met a person named Deshaun that wasn't black? And we have a member of the channel, a friend of the channel, Deshaun. Great friend of the channel. I've never met anybody named Deshaun that wasn't black, ever. And I've met a lot of Deshauns. I grew up in Chocolate City, D.C., 80% black. I met a lot of Deshauns. A lot of something Shawns, Sean something. A lot. Never met one. I met a white boy named Sean. I've never met anybody that wasn't black named Deshaun. 30-year-old Deshaun Beaudry of Louisville, Kentucky was charged with the delay or destruction of mail, which is a federal crime. Beaudry admitted. So the white man ain't setting him up. Ain't putting false charges on a nigga try to make black people look bad. Beaudry admitted to special agents with the U.S. Postal Service that he was responsible for discarding the mail in the construction dumpster. He is no longer employed by the Postal Service. The complaint says the mail found in the dumpster included approximately 111 general election absentee ballots from the Jefferson County Clerk's Office being mailed to voters to be filled out. The dump mail also included approximately 69 mixed-class pieces of flat-rate mail, 302 second-class pieces of mail, and 2 national election campaign flyers from a political party in Florida. If convicted at trial, he faces up to 5 years in prison. I think he should get it because he threw away a lot of people's other mail. He threw away a bunch of other mail. Not only the 111 ballots, which that's a lot of ballots to throw away in one haul, which makes me think that this wasn't just a lazy postal worker that didn't want to, deliver his mail, or made a booty call while he was in his mail truck and realized that he couldn't go back to the plant with with a truck full of mail, so he just ditched it somewhere. I think this guy literally was doing some voter fraud, but he threw away a lot of people's other mail. You waiting for a letter. You waiting for a check stub. You waiting for something in the mail, and it never come. Because some nigga done threw the shit away. The mailman, the literal fucking mailman done threw the shit away. With a bunch of ballots trying to fucking influence the election. I'm more mad about that than I am the fucking ballots, because Louisville gonna go fucking Democrat regardless. He can't, it ain't no way to change that. Louisville going Democrat. Now Kentucky, now the whole state of Kentucky is a different thing. We don't know, we'll see, but Louisville going Democrat. They Breonna'd out. Well, that Breonna situation, they going Democrat. If convicted at trial, he faces up to 5 years in prison and a $250,000 fine and 1 year of supervised release after serving the sentence. Mail-in voting has become a controversial topic leading up to the election, as more and more Americans will get the opportunity to mail in their ballots. President Trump and Republicans have been warning that mail-in voting leads to the problem of delays in delivery and counting. It could lead to fraud. So yeah, man. Voter suppression. Negroes. Get in the comment section, like, subscribe, donate, peace.